Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, these are my thoughts on the match that ended 1-1 between Chelsea and Arsenal on Sunday. So, into the lineup, we had Sanchez in goal. No Reece James playing this week. We actually had Gusto on the right, Fofana and Cole as our centre backs, and Cucurella on the left. Obviously, Lavia and Caicedo as our midfield with Palmer just in front, and Neto on the left, Jackson up front, and Noni Madueke on the right. So this was an interesting match for me because I thought we had a really good opportunity to win against Arsenal. We haven't beaten them at Stamford Bridge for 6 years. I think Maurizio Sarri is the last manager to beat Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, which is a record that's just not acceptable. Even though in that time we have been far more successful than them, the fact that we've got a really bad record in the last just over half a decade is kind of frustrating. Obviously, going to this match, Arsenal were not in good form. I thought this was a great opportunity. Obviously, going to this match, we also believed that they weren't going to have the full squad. Turns out that Odegaard and Rice were both playing. But I still felt we had a really good opportunity to win this match. And we've been playing some great football. And into the first half, and I mean, it was a really even game. It was a really, really even game. We had some great opportunities. There was that one where in the first 10 minutes, Cole Palmer just had the ball. All the Arsenal players backed off from him for some unknown reason. He had a shot and it was a comfortable save, but it was still putting pressure on them. I think we dominated the first 10 minutes. We looked really good going forward. There was one moment where I'm just normally with Cole Palmer, he makes the wrong. He makes the normally with Cole Palmer, he makes the right decision. He picks the right pass, and his connection with Jackson is just incredible. Where there was that one move where he does a great turn, and he has a choice between playing. He plays it to Neto, but if he had just seen Jackson, there was a huge gap between the two Arsenal centre backs, or between the Arsenal right back and one of the centre backs. There was a huge gap where Jackson was clearly running down, and he was easily onside. If Palmer had seen him, he would play it through on goal, and maybe Jackson scores. We don't know, but it's one of those moments where you're just there. Like normally, Cole Palmer makes that right decision, and we could have been through on goal. Instead, he passed it to Neto, who still created a great opportunity. He did a lovely, delightful cross. Unfortunately, I think Noni just didn't quite get it on target in the end. But then Arsenal kind of began to sink their teeth into the game and began to take a little bit of control. I have nothing against passing out from the back. I get that modern football you do it, but we seem to be doing it and we're making so many mistakes from it. I think it's all come from a goal kick. Jackson Sanchez passes it. I think it's like Colwell who then tries to clear it, but then the Arsenal players get it right on the edge of our box, gets to Martinelli, and it's just a really poor shot. Good save, but a poor shot straight at Sanchez in the end. Um, Other than that, the two biggest incidents in the game were Gusto's chance. Gusto's chance. I mean, again, we work everything really well. Some great play. Get it down to Neto. Neto just embarrasses Ben White quite comfortably. Um, just floats a delightful ball in. It's harder to miss this chance. So somehow Gusto, right a few yards out from goal, somehow Gusto gets underneath it and heads and clears it. Doesn't like it was a perfect ball from Neto. And the worst thing is, obviously Gusto's playing there. Reece isn't. If Reece was in that position, you can't help but think it would have been 1-0 to Chelsea. He wasn't, and Gusto just really frustratingly just missed the ball. It's not missed the ball, just missed the target. Got it underneath the ball and heads it over. Um, but yeah, I mean the other massive incident is Arsenal's goal, which to be fair, they get a free kick, very quick free kick. The whistle's blown, so the ball's in play. It's a genius move. I think it's by Declan Rice, and no one in the Chelsea team's ready, which is just poor. You've got to always be switched on. The second that whistle goes, the ball is in play. Havertz scores, shushes the crowd, which I don't think there's any love lost between Chelsea fans and Kai Havertz. I feel that relationship is completely gone, despite the fact that the kind of match-going fans have always supported him. But anyway, it was a lovely feeling when the VAR then ruled it out. And obviously, yeah, we get to half time, and it's 0-0. Both teams could easily have scored 1 or 2 goals. One thing I will say though is Ben White was on a yellow card. Um, I really want our wingers to just attack more, just to really try and isolate the left and right backs, and try and just try and go past them at least 1 or 2 more times. I just felt it happened a lot where we'd get the ball out to the wing, and maybe they wouldn't have the confidence to do it or something. So then they go back, and instead of really challenging the left and right back, they just let them off. But anyway, we're going at half time at 0-0, and the reality is both teams, neither team's playing that well, and it's a game really, really in the balance. So we start the second half, and I mean, again, it is a very even match. But one thing that we've really learned in this is we can't defend crosses. We just can't seem to defend corners or goal or free kicks or anything like that. I don't know what it is. Going to this match, my one concern was really just Arsenal are probably the best in the league. Not probably. Arsenal are the best in the league at corners. They've worked out how to do them, and they've scored so many goals from them. We are really bad at defending corners. So one thing I was actually impressed with throughout this whole match is that we really limited Arsenal to their best sort of strength and our weakness. But when it comes to just dealing with crosses in general, we're awful. I mean, you can really see how good Martin Odegaard is, because I think it was around the 60th minute. He just floated a delightful cross. By the way, there's so many things about this goal which Arsenal scored which were just awful. For one thing, the positioning of all the defence. All our defenders were in the same group together. There was like 2 Arsenal players, I think, that were completely unmarked. So that's one really poor thing. Another thing is Colwell trying to play the offside trap doesn't work. I mean, when you have to all be in the same line to play the offside trap, Martinelli was Martinelli was offside if Colwell had been in line with everyone else. So that's poor again. And then the third one is I don't know what Sanchez was doing. I really don't know what he was doing. It was poor. I mean, so the ball gets floated in. It's a good touch from Martinelli, but Chelsea again could just no one noticed them and no one picked them up. And Cole obviously plays them both on the side, and then he's at the side of the goal, and Sanchez is clearly leaning his body, expecting the pass, and he just opens a little gap between him and the goal, and it was a good goal. It's a good finish, but the reality is poor goalkeeping. I mean, you cannot get beaten at your near post. Like look, if he's gonna cross the ball, believe that your defenders are going to be there to just clear the ball. You just cannot get beaten at your near post, and it was poor. It was really, really poor from him. Um, and again, it's another mistake which Sanchez has. That's 2 mistakes in the last 2 games from Sanchez, which has led to us conceding a goal. But I still believe that we had an opportunity. And again, then Fernandez comes on for Lavia, and I felt we created more with Enzo Fernandez. Funnily enough, I think the midfield of Lavia and Caicedo was great, but I just feel we have a little bit more creativity with Fernandez. So he gets the ball, and he just straight away within the first couple of minutes of him being on, in the first minute of him being on, just gets the ball, then passes it between like 2 Arsenal players, gets the ball to Neto, who just moves on to his left, and what a goal! What a brilliant finish right in the bottom corner. You're not saving that because it's come through several bodies and it's right in the corner, and it was so quick that he did it. I mean, it was such an impressive goal. It was huge for us as well, just to kind of like against United when we went 1-0 down from a mistake, to then within the first like next 10 minutes to get ourselves back into the match. It was huge. It's so important, and it's great to see that we did that. And again, it was the next 20 minutes. Next 20 minutes were interesting. I felt Arsenal created about 2 or 3 chances, which they probably should have scored. I think 1 or 2 may have been offside, but either way, there was one moment where they crossed the ball in. I can't remember who was the shot, but Sanchez produces a brilliant save, and then like Trossard's the one who just kicks it over the top of the goal. I think again that was offside, but I'm not sure. But yeah, it was really, really even. And then in the last in the last second of the game, Arsenal almost scored, arguably the most infuriating winner possible. It was I think I can't remember who crossed the ball, but it was just there's a few. I think there's like three Arsenal players all in a row somehow Chelsea have just let these players be unmarked. And it's one of those where Trossard has every right to go for it, sticks out his leg, and he sticks out his leg, and because he doesn't get good contact on it, not only does he miss the goal, but he takes the ball away and takes the ball over Havertz's feet, and then obviously the ball goes out, and then it's the final whistle, and the game is done. But my God, if Havertz has scored a last second winner at Stamford Bridge, it would have been such a frustrating end. It would have been an infuriating end. Um, I mean, apparently he may have been offside. I don't know. I wouldn't want to take that chance. But either way, 1-1, and we go into we go into the next international break, as there's another one, obviously, third place, which seems great and all. However, the difference between third and 13th, which is United, is 4 points. So there's just two results, and you can go. One result changes everything. Good news for Chelsea is our next game is on a week on Saturday, so on the 23rd, and it is away to Leicester, but it's the first game, so we can put ourselves slightly further away from that pack. Either way, it looks like a really exciting Premier League this season. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the 23rd when we have hopefully beaten Leicester.